Hello everyone, it is so good to be here. If this is the first time that you're coming to my content, a very big welcome to you. If you are a returning viewer, it is great to have you back. My name is Gemma Lonsdale and I am a prophet, a speaker, an author. My book in the background there, Wisdom Proverbs for Today, which you can get on Amazon. I am just really excited to be back online and sharing some information with you today. I have actually had a few weeks off. You will probably have noticed my silence. We've had a bereavement in the family, so I was back over in Northern Ireland, and I also have had shingles, which has upset everything. Everything has upset everything in terms of my cancer treatment journey. So it has meant that I've just needed to step back a little bit and take a bit more extra care of myself in terms of nourishing myself. And also it's the summer holidays, the kids are off school, I've had my daughter a little bit extra, but I'm really excited to be in here. The information that I have to share with you today, I had been given previously about a week or so ago. It does tie into some other information that I have been given over the last few years that I have spoke about. I would say maybe over the last 3 or 4 years in total. I've shared some of it in part. But what I am being told of is a revolution that is set to happen, starts off in the United States, and I am seeing this impacting things. If I can explain to you how I see it, I'm being shown the world map and I can see the United States mostly on the East Coast, and what I'm then seeing is the impact of this coming across all different continents and different countries. Whenever I asked what is this in regard to, because I was seeing people on streets protesting, and I've seen like the pickets, and people were just starting to take charge a little bit more, and I was asking, okay, what is this in regard to? And there was a couple of things that were given to me, and I think it's really important that we bear in mind whenever I'm given information, it's normally given as symbolism rather than as a black and white narrative necessarily. So it could be a little broader than what I'm being shown, but I'm being told about taxes. The taxes are too large. We don't want to be taxed anymore. No more greedy corporates. Increase the wages, more freedom. So there's something here of people taking back their power. But what I was being shown was the East Coast. That doesn't mean that it won't happen in other places, but there could be something specific there, or there could be just a stronger narrative there, perhaps in one of the states, for example. However, what I am being shown is this having a larger impact. So although I'm being shown the East Coast, there is a wider impact that this is going to have on people. I don't know if this is going to be something that is going to be triggered by a specific event, or is going to be something that sort of goes on over a longer period of time, or is it something that triggers it, that it happens over a few days and then it stops. I don't know. That's not what I'm being shown here. What I can tell you is that it does feed into the overall picture that I have been painted for probably the last 3 or 4 years now, that actually the wealth is being held at the top, but that isn't going to be permanent. I am seeing the wealth trickling down and the poor getting less poor and the rich becoming less rich. There will still be plenty of incredibly wealthy people in the world, but I am seeing people becoming wealthier and people not having as much hardship as perhaps they would have had before, not having to work as hard for the same money, or being able to work less and earn more. So there's a rebalancing happening in the world when it comes to money and where the wealth sits, which is a really positive thing. I can't tell you how long that's going to take, but I have seen it happen. I've seen it happen in my own life. I've seen it happen in the lives of those around me. So it is something that is changing. So there is an evolution there. And I don't know what impact the revolution is going to have from the US. There's a couple of things that I wanted to share with you actually alongside that. And this is really from my own thoughts. I wanted to really encourage you to be aware that you do have power. I think it can be very easy for us to sit and think to ourselves that, the big corporates, the big pharma, the governments, the whatever else, and that we're just small fish in a big ocean, and actually our words don't matter. And it's really important that you know that your words do matter. Even if you are this tiny little voice that stands up and feel like no one is hearing you, it really matters whenever you speak up. Because whenever you speak up, not only does it mean that you give your voice a chance to be heard, you also give yourself an opportunity to influence other people, and you also give confidence to other people that they can take what's in their mind or what they're churning in their thoughts or what they're getting angry about or annoyed about, and it gives them the confidence to actually think, well, I should speak up as well. I should post that thing. I should start that YouTube channel. I should talk about it on my podcast. I should write about it. You know, it gives people the confidence that they can do it too. So regardless of what it's in regard to, obviously, yes, this is connected to, you know, taxes and, you know, people not earning enough money or people wanting more money and less greedy corporates. But it happens, it can really impact you in all areas of your life. Sexism, racism, you know, just all different parts of your life. Whenever you are actually able to start to take control of your words and your narrative that's in your own mind, and start to actually let those words be shared out through your mouth or out through your fingertips. You know, if you're typing or you're writing something, your words make a difference. That ripple that you create can reverberate out and give such a big impact to other people. So it's really important. And it also enables movements to actually happen. You know, I kept thinking about Rosa Parks, and I'm like, well, gosh, what would have happened if she hadn't have done what she had done? You know, there are so many different people who have made such a big impact, and they were just one voice. And yes, it might feel daunting to speak out about something, but your voice does matter, and your voice can change a lot. A revolution only takes one person to actually kick things off. Okay, so just one ripple, just one seed, your voice matters. Even when we think about our voice mattering in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture of the world, and all of those big challenges that we have as a collective society to uncover, actually your voice and your thoughts matter when it comes to making things change. So if you take, for example, the idea that actually, well, the wealth is at the top, I don't have a say in this, you know, the government is too strong, my words don't matter. Whenever we believe that narrative and we allow it to swirl around in our mind, it actually takes a hold of us, and that's what we believe, and then that's what we actually create in our world. So whenever we start to understand how powerful our minds are, that actually if we tell ourselves a different story, it actually brings something different into our reality. It's just incredibly powerful. So your thoughts matter. If you start to tell yourself a story that your voice matters, that you can change things, that actually the world is turning and the wealth is trickling down and you are getting richer, those are the sorts of things that you will actually invite into your reality. So it's really important that we pay attention to our thoughts. I think it's really important as well that we become aware of the narrative that we have been fed through our life, and the beliefs that we have. Actually, are they our beliefs? Are they true? Are they the reality of the situation? Are they concrete? Or is it something that we have been told over time and we have just started to believe that? I always think this is a really fun example to talk about rather. I'm 5'5", and I have grown through my whole life to think that I was a really tall woman. I thought I was very tall for a girl. And I had looked at all of these other tall women and I thought, gosh, like I'm as tall as what they are, you know, 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". I was thinking I was as tall as what these women are, you know, I was in the tall bracket. And my grandmother, she'd always talked about how tall I was, right from I was a teenager. Gosh, you're so tall, you've got good height, you know. Not realising that actually my grandmother was 5'2", or 5'3". She was really small. So to her, 5'5" was tall. But I took this story on and I had always believed that I was tall. However, when I would have shopped in the tall section of the clothing store, the legs were always far too long. And in fact, actually the regular trouser length would have been far too long for me in some cases. Like I'm wearing a pair of jeans at the moment and they're just regular length, but they're far too long. So we actually believe a lot of the things that we are told from a very young age, and we don't realise that half the time. we're not aware of, you know, where that has actually come from, and we take these beliefs that have been told to us, these narratives that have been spun, whether it was your grandmother, your parent, or a politician, or the news stations. We believe the things that we are told to us whenever they're told to us over and over again. Okay? So be aware of what your beliefs are, be aware of where they stem from, and if they are actual facts, or if they're just something that you have been told so often that you believe it now. I want to leave you with that, okay? I'm going to be getting, I have been told, lots and lots of juicy information. I don't know how quickly the information is going to come through to me. I'm, you know, yes, my gift is there, it's always working, but I can't dictate what information comes. I am simply the recipient and the vessel that it all comes through. I also don't know how quickly all of this is going to come to fruition. I'm not being given timelines, but it is coming, change is coming, and you have so much more power than what you were aware of. If you want to follow me on other channels, I am writing on Substack every week. You can check me out there. The link is in the link tree that I'm going to pin down below as well. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I am going to try and post a little bit more regularly now. We're starting to get back to normality. Schools are going back soon. I'm back on my medication, and so far I feel great. So fingers crossed that that continues. It has been great to have you here. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to be informed of any more information that comes through me, and I will keep you up to date as and when I get it.